I'm Carrie Peters, a recognized thought leader in the Microsoft Dynamics community and a Microsoft MVP for business applications. Welcome to the Get Your New View podcast. Keep listening to learn how we work with frustrated Business Central and NAV users who struggle to use their system and find the answers that they need. We teach them to truly understand how the system can support their business processes to make immediate and lasting improvements. As a result, they get more done in less time, make better business decisions, and even love their system.
I have a question for you, Cynthia.
And hopefully I have an answer for you, Carrie.
I think you will. Have you ever worked at an organization where Department 100 was IT and 200 was production and 300 was accounting, and you had all these numbers you had to memorize for departments?
Yes.
Yes. Do you still remember some of those numbers?
I do, but not all of them.
Okay. So I have a way that we can make it easy for you as listeners to set up your dimensions where you don't need to memorize this huge list of numbers, department codes, project codes, territories, whatever it may be. We actually have the ability to just set up a department code as admin. I know, it's groundbreaking. I think oftentimes, and Cynthia, you'll have to tell me if you agree, I think it's just so ingrained, especially for me as an accountant, it's ingrained in my brain that departments have to be assigned a number or a project has a number rather than just calling it what it is, right? I don't know if you have any thoughts on this.
I do, and I think it's not just that it's what you're used to, but you might have them memorized, and if you have to make a change to something else, then you have to memorize that. That's the thinking.
That's true. So
you don't have to memorize, right?
Yeah. If you're listening and you have department codes set up as numbers, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You can change your dimensions. However, don't just go in and do that. Talk to your admin, test it out in a sandbox environment first. But you can make that change, actually. If you're thinking, we really struggle with new users and having them learn all these departments and all these projects and territories, you can just have them as whatever it is that they are. Now, if I search for tech, that number is going to pop up anyway because BC has good search features.
That's true.
But for financial reporting or just things like that, make it easy on yourself and just call admin, call production prod.
Well, and Carrie, it's not just a matter of selecting it, because ideally those dimensions are set up on your master data and they're automatically coming through, right? They're defaulting into the transaction. So it's seeing it on the line.
That's
it's not
true.
Necessarily just so. If it's 100 and I want to know what 100 is on the line, now I have to click on the arrow so that I can see the lookup to see the description, and I might accidentally change the value as I'm scrolling through.
I've never done that before.
So it's not just intuitive on entry, but it's intuitive on reviewing what it is that you've done. I work with a lot of not-for-profits, and because of that, they have funding. And because of funding, they're using dimensions. And they'll have projects, and they'll have fund numbers, et cetera, et cetera. And they might have 4 or 5 dimensions on a line, and they'll have a purchase document that will have multiple lines. And those multiple lines are all coded to different departments and projects, et cetera, et cetera. And if they had to have a new person come in, because I know the people have been doing it for a long time, and 100 is this one, and A55 is this agency, and P whatever is this project, et cetera, that's fine for them. But somebody new, as you mentioned, it's going to be harder. So if you have that coding that you have to do on all of those lines, it's not just the coding, it's the reviewing and having what you're seeing there be intuitive.
That's a good point. And I actually never thought about that, because now I'm thinking I'm entering the transactions for NewView, so I'm familiar with our dimensions. But
Right.
If we had numbers set up and now my boss, Kim, goes in just to kind of review, the activity, she's probably not going to know those numbers because she's not using them every day. So Not even just new people, but people who are not using those every day.
Good point. On the reports, everything, right?
Right. And we use department as a simple example because it's a pretty common dimension across companies, but especially things like projects where there's constantly new projects being added or, not being used anymore. That can be a lot to keep up with.
And don't let it defaults in from the project, so it's not a matter of keying it. It's also then using. We don't put dimensions on transactions for the hell of it. We put them on there so that they go to the right that information goes to the GL account, and we don't have to worry about segmented accounts. But the end result is that we need it for reporting.
Exactly.
And if those dimension names are more intuitive, the reporting is more intuitive.
Yeah, that is a very good point. And we love to talk about dimensions. So if you'd like to spend more than just 5 minutes with us, we have a lot more to share with you.
And you can go to learndynamics.com for our on-demand training courses.
Did your team ever really get good training to understand how to use your business software? Do you think you could use more features of your software if you just knew how? Are you frustrated with inefficiency that never seems to get better? Do you suspect that there just has to be a better way, but you don't know what that is? We believe every company can benefit from increased efficiency and higher utilization of their software, and that it's possible to have fun while learning exactly how to do that. The experts at NewView Strategies work with frustrated Business Central and NAV users who struggle to use their system and find the answers they need. We teach them to truly understand how the system can support their business processes to make immediate and lasting improvements. As a result, they get more done in less time, make better decisions, and even love their system. Please contact us at getyournewview.com to get started.